date, December 12, 1946. The place, the Ross Sea. Even though it's the height of Austral summer, you wouldn't know it. Everywhere one looks is nothing but ice. Strange, too, is the presence in Antarctic waters of a heavily armed U.S. Navy fleet. Task Force 68's avowed mission is to gather scientific data and train naval personnel in extreme polar conditions. But this doesn't explain the presence of 13 ships, including 2 destroyers, a submarine, and the aircraft carrier Philippine Sea. This is one scientific research mission that's armed to the teeth. As the Armada breaks its way through the pack ice, one thing is clear. This scientific expedition is prepared for a fight. Leading the expedition is Rear Admiral Richard Byrd, one of the nation's most highly decorated naval officers. While he's seen this place before, nothing can prepare him for what he and the 4,000 men of Task Force 68 are about to experience.
So far, so good. I told you this was a wild goose chase, Dickie.
It's too soon to tell, Del, and that's Admiral Dickey to you. Once we finish breaking through the pack ice, I want you to anchor in the Bay of Whales. I'll head onto the ice with the combat engineers to set up Little America 4, then you can send in all the gear we'll need to see what's what out there.
Better you than me. We'll keep a weather eye on the radar to let you know if any storms blow up or if anything else of interest to your expedition should raise its ugly head.
Much appreciated, Captain. Signal the Mount Olympus to let them know we intend to land as soon as the fleet is anchored in the bay.
Will do, Admiral. Good luck and good hunting. I've got the feeling you're going to need it.
Fortunately for Admiral Byrd, neither the weather nor anything else prevented him from establishing his base on the ice. After a quick trip back to the fleet, he was ready to get down to business.
It's good to be back, Chief. If you'll follow me to my office, I'll tell you what I need you to do next.
I take it your meeting with Admiral Cruzen went well?
It did, but that won't help all of us ground pounders out here.
Let me tell you what I need from you, Chief. I want you to focus on getting the radar shack operational. If we should lose communications with the fleet, I don't want to be blind as well as deaf.
Do you think that's likely to happen, Admiral?
Better safe than sorry, Chief. Now hop to it. I want you to make it a priority.
You can count on me, sir.
Instead of heading toward the main camp, Admiral Byrd headed instead to the radio hut on the far side of the camp. The lone radio man seated inside had no idea that the message he was about to send would change the course of history.
What can I do for you today, Admiral?
I need you to send this priority dispatch to Admiral Nimitz at the Pentagon. As soon as you finish transmitting it, I want you to burn it.
Aye, aye, sir.
As the radio man tuned to the proper frequency and set his code key, he had no idea that he was only one of 4 men in the fleet who had a clue about what was to happen next.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, Earthling. The fate of your planet could depend on it.
As soon as the Admiral was sure his message was sent and the copy burned, he headed to the ops hut. Byrd was no stranger to flying over the Antarctic. In 1929, he'd been the first to fly over the South Pole, a feat that earned him a ticker tape parade. But as he stood on the ice next to his plane, he knew that this flight was going to be even more dangerous than that perilous journey.
Admiral, wait. I think you forgot something.
Chief, have you come to see me off, or are you volunteering for the expedition?
I didn't want you to leave without taking a flag to plant on the ice at your furthest point south.
Thanks. It's doubtful that I'll be landing, but you never know.
I know you don't need it, but good luck, and Godspeed.
Hold down the fort while I'm away.
As Byrd climbed aboard and gunned the engines, the chief wondered why the Admiral had such a forlorn look on his face that morning. Neither he nor anyone else at Little America 4 knew the true nature of the top-secret mission that the Admiral had accepted nearly a year ago. As he flew over his Antarctic base before heading inland, Byrd wondered if he would ever see it again. The main objective of Admiral Byrd's mission was to scout the area previously surveyed by the Nazis, to look for signs of human activity that could indicate a hidden base. Prior to the war, the Nazis sent 3 survey expeditions to Antarctica. The last was led by the MS Schwabenland. Toward the end of the Second World War, German U-boats were seen skirting the icy waters between Antarctica and Chile. It was feared that the subs were secretly resupplying a hidden Nazi base located somewhere in the vast area they'd previously surveyed. Once discovered, Captain Cornwell would order his squadron of Helldiver bombers to take out the Nazi base. If successful, the 4,000 men assigned to Operation High Jump would then raid the stronghold to rout the Nazis once and for all, as well as to recover any hidden records and technology that could be put to use by the US military. That was the plan, at least. That's also why Admiral Byrd flew off alone, all the better to maintain their cover as an exploration and training mission. Unfortunately for Byrd, not only did he fail to turn up any evidence of Nazi activity on the ice, it was rumored that what he did discover flying over the Antarctic wastes had nothing to do with the Nazis. It didn't take long for word of Admiral Byrd's sightings to get back to Chief of Naval Operations Chester Nimitz in the Pentagon.
God damn it, I don't want to hear excuses, I want results.
I understand, Chester, but Dickey tells us that whoever is down there has aircraft that can run rings around anything we throw at them.
Signal him to order an attack immediately.
Although it isn't clear what happened after the CNO responded to Admiral Byrd's assessment, this much is known. An attack took place that didn't exactly go as well as the Navy had hoped. Planes were lost and men died. Later that same year, Admiral Nimitz was replaced as CNO by Admiral Louis E. Denfield. As for Admiral Byrd, no sooner had the fleet touched dry land in Chile when he went straight to the El Mercurio newspaper, where he granted an interview.
I believe the United States should adopt measures of protection against the possibility of an invasion of the country by hostile planes coming from the polar regions. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the cruel reality is that in case of a new war, the United States could be attacked by aircraft flying over one or both poles. One of the most important lessons learned during my recent Antarctic exploration is that I feel I have to warn my compatriots that the time has ended when we are able to take refuge in our isolation. We must rely on the certainty that the distances, the oceans, and the poles are no guarantee of safety.
1947 was a significant year for Byrd as well, due to Operation High Jump. Some conspiracy theories suggest Byrd was forced into retirement. Unlike his last excursion to the Antarctic, this time when he returned to the US, there was no ticker tape parade. From 1947 until his death 10 years later, at age 68, Admiral Byrd never again served aboard a US Navy vessel. Byrd continued to be involved in U.S. military and scientific efforts, including Operation Deep Freeze in 1955, which laid the groundwork for permanent U.S. research stations in Antarctica. To this day, there are a number of areas in the Antarctic where pilots are forbidden to fly. It makes you wonder who jumped who in the Antarctic back in 1947. It also makes you wonder why a mission that was supposed to last 6 months headed home after only spending 6 weeks on the ice. Next week, I'll show you some daring dogfights, including the first Air Force fighter ever shot down by a UFO.